Pregnancy is such an exciting time, but let's be real. It can also bring some not so fun symptoms, especially in those early weeks of pregnancy. Nausea, fatigue, mood swings, you name it. But don't worry, today I'm going to be diving into the best tips and tricks to help you to feel your best in pregnancy, as well as some tips to help you manage those early pregnancy symptoms that you're probably feeling. I'm Dr. Pinnock, and I'm a board certified OBGYN and high-risk pregnancy doctor, passionate about helping you to have a healthy and enjoyable pregnancy. Whether it's tackling morning sickness or breast tenderness or just feeling completely wiped out, I've got you covered in this video. So stick around to the end for some practical advice to get you through these early weeks with all the confidence that you need. Let's jump right in. First up, I'm going to talk about morning sickness or nausea. I've also made a detailed video about how to tackle nausea with natural remedies, so I'll link that video in the description box below. But let's talk about some ways to tackle nausea briefly here. So while it's often called morning sickness, you may already know that it can hit at any time in the day. And here are some tips that I have with how to manage it. Eating small, frequent meals will really help to keep that nausea at bay. And this is because keeping something in your stomach throughout the day can help to control the nausea, as well as some of that acid that can be on your stomach when it's empty. So trying bland foods like crackers or toast, especially in small, frequent portions, can really go a long way instead of eating 3 big meals. Next up, ginger and even lemon. Ginger is one of the most effective natural remedies for nausea. And you can try ginger tea as well as ginger candies, or even add fresh ginger to your meals. Lemon can actually also be really helpful. If you are having an aversion to regular water, you can add lemon into your water or your tea, or for some women, even the scent of lemon, fresh lemon that is, actually is helpful for their nausea symptoms. The next one I'll touch on is hydration. So definitely staying hydrated is key when you're nauseous. I know you may feel like you don't want to take anything in or you can't keep anything down, but sipping on water, herbal teas, or even sucking on ice chips for some women can make a big difference. And the reason why it's important is because dehydration can actually make your nausea worse. And so keeping some fluids in your system is definitely a must. So next up is fatigue. If you're feeling extra tired, do not worry. This is completely normal in pregnancy. Your body is working overtime to make that little one. And so really in the first trimester, getting that extra rest is essential. So here's what you can do to combat that early pregnancy fatigue. First is finding ways to get plenty of rest. I know it can be hard between balancing work or other obligations to really get that extra sleep, but really don't be afraid to slow down. Napping during the day or even going to bed earlier can actually make a world of a difference. So really just try to listen to your body and don't push yourself too hard, especially early in pregnancy. Another cool way to tackle fatigue is by eating iron-rich foods. And this is because sometimes fatigue can actually be linked to low iron levels or something called anemia. And so eating iron-rich foods like spinach, beans, lean meats that are well cooked can also help to boost your energy. And then the next thing I'll touch on to help you tackle that fatigue is by staying active. I know this may sound contradictory, but staying active with light exercise actually can help to boost your energy levels. So things like walking or even prenatal yoga can actually help to increase your energy levels. The only thing is just to make sure you're not overdoing it and make sure that you're keeping your movements nice and gentle, that your body doesn't feel strained or overworked. Now, let's talk about mood swings. It's not just you, don't worry. Those hormones are surging through your body and it's really making you feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster. You may be wondering what in the world is happening. Here are a few tips that I have to try to keep those mood swings in check as much as possible. The first is to really just find someone you trust to talk about your feelings. So whether it's your partner, a friend, a therapist, or another trusted loved one, sharing how you feel can actually really work to help to relieve some of that emotional weight that you may be carrying. So definitely try not to bottle up all the feelings that you may have in, and expressing them with someone that you trust can really help to sort of lower the chances that your mood swings can get a little bit more than you would want them to be. The next tip I'll touch on is by exercising mindfulness or even meditation. So things like deep breathing exercises, yoga, or even short meditation sessions can actually help you to feel more grounded, especially when those emotions start to feel overwhelming. And just always remember to be kind to yourself. It's really, really normal to feel emotional during pregnancy. Your body's going through a lot. You may be really nervous. You may not know what to expect. And giving yourself some grace and allowing yourself the space to feel whatever comes up can actually work wonders in helping you to sort of manage your emotions as they come up. And I really hope those things help if you are feeling that your mood swings are really intense. The next one I'll touch on is breast tenderness. If you're experiencing breast tenderness early in pregnancy, do not feel like you're alone. It's a very common symptom. And here are some recommendations that I have to help to ease that discomfort. And the first one I'll touch on is buying or using a supportive bra. These can be game changers. Having a well-fitting supportive bra, whether that's a maternity bra or even a sports bra, can actually help to provide the relief that you need throughout the day to prevent the symptoms of breast tenderness that you may be having. The next option would be to consider applying a warm compress. So this can actually help to soothe your sore breasts and provide some extra comfort during times where it may be really, really uncomfortable. Oftentimes, some women find that their symptoms of breast tenderness happen a lot more in the evenings. And so applying a warm compress as you're winding down your day may actually be a great option to help to relieve those symptoms. The last symptom I'll touch on is having frequent urination. With all the hormonal changes and increased blood flow to your kidneys, you're probably finding that you're heading to the bathroom a lot more often, and it can be very frustrating. So here are some tips that I have with how to manage these symptoms. The first and most essential one is do not cut back on water. So while it's really, really tempting to drink less in order to go to the bathroom less, I wouldn't recommend doing that, because staying hydrated is so important in pregnancy. What I would recommend is to just change around when you're taking in your fluids. So you can consider reducing your fluid intake right before bed to avoid waking up in the night so that you're having a whole night's sleep if possible. But while you're awake during the day, really still try to drink plenty of water to stay hydrated. The next tip I'll share with you is really try to empty your bladder completely. So when you use the bathroom, perhaps you can try leaning forward or just, stay in an extra few seconds to make sure that your bladder is completely emptied. And this can lower the chances of feeling like you need to go again right away, right after you leave the bathroom. While most of these early pregnancy symptoms are totally normal, there are a few things that I do want you to keep your eye on in order to know when to reach out to your healthcare provider if you're concerned. So I'd say to reach out to your healthcare provider if you're having any severe cramping, heavy bleeding, if you're having nausea that's really, really not improving with anything that you're trying at home, and if your nausea or even vomiting is preventing you from keeping fluids down. Also, if you're having any dizziness, fainting, or any symptoms that just don't really feel right to you in your body, just always reach out to your provider. It's always better to just call and ask if you're unsure rather than to stay at home worried and not feeling well. All right, mamas. Well, I hope these tips help you to manage your early pregnancy symptoms and make you feel like you're more in control during this early but exciting time that could be a little bit challenging. And I always like to say that every pregnancy is unique, so just listen to your body and don't be afraid to ask for help. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any pregnancy tips that I have for you. And lastly, if you are pregnant and are interested in knowing what foods to avoid eating in pregnancy, don't forget to take a look at my checklist at badpregnancyfoods.com, or you can find it linked below. All right, see you on the next one.